My name is Trevor Rainey, and I'm in Intercultural Communications at GCU. And in this video, I will be sharing intercultural communications scenario, and I'll be asking ChatGPT to give me advice on the scenario and give me scholarly sources on the scenario. And I'll compare it with my own scholarly sources. And the purpose is to evaluate ChatGPT or AI as if it's beneficial for use in the classroom or in situations in life. The scenario that I've chosen for this experiment is that I have a roommate from India and I'm having a lot of trouble understanding them, and they're having a lot of trouble understanding me. So I need communication advice to speak to my roommate from India better, and I need help and communication advice so that we can get along better and I can learn more about my roommate's culture and be more respectful of it with more knowledge of India culture. And so my input into ChatGPT that I typed in is communication advice for me to communicate more effectively with my Indian roommate. And then I asked it to give me communication scholarships to support the advice. And I use this input because it is very important to know at least how to be respectful when you are trying to talk to somebody or communicate with somebody from a different culture. Also, so that we can talk to each other better and more fluently and hopefully build a better relationship. So upon asking ChatGPT for communication advice for me to communicate more effectively with my Indian roommate, ChatGPT gave me a list of 8 different pieces of advice or 8 different elements to focus on when trying to communicate with somebody from a different culture more effectively. And starting from 1, it told me cultural awareness, and then open dialogue and respecting boundaries, effective listening, clarity and simplicity, flexibility and adaptability, resolving conflicts peacefully, celebrating diversity. And ChatGPT claims that by applying these communication tips and fostering a supportive and inclusive environment, you can build a positive and harmonious relationship with your roommate from India based on mutual respect and understanding. And then I put another input to ChatGPT, asking it to give me communication scholarship sources to support the advice. And then ChatGPT within seconds had a list of multiple scholarly sources for all 8 of those claims. In my opinion, the sources and advice given by ChatGPT is very helpful and good sources by professors and credible people who are knowledgeable of this subject. The advice can be regarded as common sense, but it is still a good reminder that being a good listener and being polite is a good part of communication. For comparison with the scholarly sources generated by ChatGPT, I found 3 of my own sources, and one of which I use the most being Communicating Across Other Cultures by Ting Toomey and Dorji. And this source talked a lot about trends in different cultures and how it translates from culture to culture, and was very interesting. And of the 16 different scholarly sources given by ChatGPT, the main one that I used was Engaging Theories in Interpersonal Communications, Multiple Perspectives by L.A. Baxter and Dio Braithwaite. And as you may have guessed, all 16 of the sources support the results given by ChatGPT very well, such as respecting boundaries, cultural awareness, open dialogue, and celebrating diversity. In particular, the source that I used, I found interesting because it talks about speech codes theory, and it was a really good source. In conclusion of the experiment with ChatGPT, I definitely think that the source that I used from ChatGPT mostly was much more informative about what ChatGPT recommended and was more useful than this main source that I found on my own. And reason being is just that it had a lot more information that just pertained to the things that ChatGPT was talking about, and it just generated it so quickly, making it just very efficient and just a much better alternative to Googling everything and finding sources on your own. If I were to use ChatGPT for the same situation in the future, I would change my input to say how to ask how to more effectively communicate with somebody from the country of India so that I can get more information based specifically on India. But other than that, the results were very good for what I input into ChatGPT, and I definitely see huge benefits for implementing ChatGPT into use for situations in classrooms. It gave me very good advice and a great answer for what I asked, along with highly credible scholarly sources to support the claims in a matter of seconds. ChatGPT is very efficient and can be utilized for scholarly source use very well, in my opinion. The sources it offered were terrific sources, and they offered very much information.